Hi guys, Jason here from Nathaniel School of Music, the piano teacher here. And in this lesson series, what I want to talk about are go-to left-hand patterns, which you can use for various things. You can use it for accompaniment. In other words, you could be playing chords in the right hand and these things in the left hand, or you could play a solo gig on your own. You could take a melody line in the right hand, embellish it a bit here and there, and in the left hand, you can basically be a drummer as well as a chord player. And the resources have to be managed such that you get all the three elements out on the piano, namely melody, rhythm, and harmony. And then, of course, dynamics, and then the character which you bring to the instrument. So, these patterns, first of all, need to be practiced in a manner to be very, I would say, robotic, in the sense you should do it without thinking that you're doing it. And that obviously means a lot of practice. You'll have to keep playing it over and over. And most of these patterns are very easy to play alone. If you were to just play only this, it'll be like a piece of cake. But the challenge is you combining that with a melody line or an improvisation in the right hand. Okay. And you can use this for a lot of genres. You can use this for music you compose, and I hope to see you guys making a lot of use for these things. And the tutorial is aimed at people relatively new to the instrument, but if you've played the piano for a few years, you could find a few of these things maybe refreshing, or maybe some of it is new. So do watch on and see if you can learn something out of it. Okay. So first off is a simple drum groove technique. To create a drum groove on the piano, generally you'd be following the kick drum and the snare drum, right? So if you have to play the kick drum and the snare drum, you can think like a bass player. A bass player uses the root and the octave very often in their performance. So you could use the root, the octave, and sort of follow the drummer's groove while playing. So if you have a pattern like kick, snare, snare, do, ta, ta, do, ta, ta, do, ta, ta. You can perhaps take the roots of your chords, maybe E, maybe G, and all that's happening is the pinky is playing the root, the thumb is playing the octave, and you're sort of visualizing this drummer and bass player playing with you in some way, right? That's the only way you can do this, because you're deriving the groove keeping the bigger picture in mind. It's not really something which has been born out of the piano. It's something which the music has already been constructed with. So the drums and the bass, for all you know, would already be a force, and you're adding to that force by playing maybe something like that. So the power of the piano now is I can take that kick and snare pattern and play it over my chord roots, which perhaps are E, C, D, and then play some melody in the right hand. And there could be a lot of times, even with what I played now, I did make one or two mistakes because I was trying to improvise and do a few things a little out of my skin. But that's the point of this technique. It has to grow with you organically. It'll only happen as you keep playing. So it's not a very mathematical kind of thing. It's not generated by reading or writing. You just hear your drummer, ensure you're nailing that groove in your left hand, and if you are playing with the drummer, I'm sure the drummer will make sure that you match up with him or her, because the drummers putting in all that work, nailing the kick and snare, they do not want you to mess that up, right? Which is why it's definitely not advisable to play a long note like this while you're playing a melody here, while the drummer is doing a really, really groovy beat. Okay, so we are following the drummer here, but we can do whatever we need to do here. This is not really a melody tutorial, it's more about how you can keep the two going. Okay, and if you cannot play the original melody of the song, or if you're struggling a bit in the right hand, simplify the right hand. That's a great way to start. For example, just play a single note. Again, maybe a few other notes. Slowly build it. Slowly. And so on. And it's always good to have like your leg perhaps doing the pulse while you're playing the song, if you possibly can. So doop, doop, doop. You need to like keep a pulse going with your leg. And yeah, that's essentially the idea. So in conclusion, follow your drummer, and if you're if you're lost for grooves, you always have the infamous "We Will Rock You," right? Which goes. Who doesn't know that one? So right? And whatever chords you play in the right hand could still apply. If you're choosing to not play a melody and playing chords, you can just play a chord pattern, like perhaps quarter notes. Now it obviously assumes that someone else is going to provide the melody line, the singer, the violin player, the guitar player, or whoever you're working with, right? So the left hand doesn't necessarily need to change. It's just the right hand, which can be either a melody part or a harmony where you just play or comp the chords of the song. And even the chords could follow the drummer. You could be following the hats. You could be following that. But again, we can probably spend a little bit more time later on following the entire drum kit, because that's what we do a lot as a piano player. It's a very inspiring instrument for us to do our job. Okay, so here goes. And also try to add some color in the left hand by adding your dynamics. You can perhaps make some notes long and some notes short, like I'm doing right now. Long, short, short, long, short, short, or something like. That could be cool. Or maybe you wouldn't want to do. You could also do what comes naturally, and for me right now, I want to hit the low one a little louder. That's generally how it is in music, especially modern popular stuff. So try to get this really, really confident, right? Try to sort of distract yourself, do something else, have a coffee, watch TV, talk to someone. I mean, anything which helps get the job done. Because apart from these left hand patterns, you'd also be focusing on a lot of independence. The right hand is going to be light years different from the left hand. The two hands have completely different roles in this scenario. Okay, so this is how you build drum grooves. And to add even more color with the left hand, you can think a little bit more harmonically, because ultimately you would be playing over a chord, right? So if you just play E and E, it can be a bit boring. So you can play maybe an E and a B, which is the fifth of E, isn't it? Maybe toggle between the fifth and the octave. That could be fun. Quite like this one. It's kind of fun. And you could also do like the root, the third, and the fifth of the chord, because the chord in this case could be E minor, G, B. So now you're really adding some harmonic color as well as rhythmic color. It's sort of like you're a bass player. That's pretty much what a lot of bass players would do. So that's root third five, root third five, root third five, 1 3 5, 1 3 5. And something I like to do when I play solo is to play the 1, the 5, and the 10. Okay, this may be tough for some of you watching. The 10 is nothing but the third note, which is G, played 1 octave higher in pitch. So I think this adds a lot of color. Even as a cellist or a bass player would agree, it sort of adds a bigger space to fill up your music. So as opposed to here the 3 is close or inside, now I could play the 3 outside and thus make it a 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 would be the octave, 9 would be the 2 higher, 10 would be the 3 higher. So I think this sounds quite cool. And again, melody. You may make a lot of mistakes, but that's the point. The point is to grow both hands. You otherwise, what tends to happen is you'll simplify something or the other. You'll compromise on the melody, which you wouldn't want to do, or you compromise on the rhythm, which is and the harmony, which is also a lot of fun. So it's important to go with it organically and let it flow and take breaks and don't give up, because if you have a good night's sleep and wake up, everything sort of tends to get internalized, and then when you go back to your piano, you'll realize that, man, I can actually play this quite better than yesterday. And that's the point. It's about getting better and trying to improve yourself. Okay, so this is the first of the left hand patterns which I thought of sharing with you guys, and use it, and I hope you find use in whichever style of music you play. Moving on, in the next tutorial, I'd like to share some patterns which could be your go-to patterns in maybe rock and roll as well as blues. See you in the next one and follow through. Cheers.